Happy New Year, like 2025. Wow, I think we're on the last day of January now, thank God. I've actually booked myself a hotel, so I'm checking out in I think in a couple of hours, so I'd do a quick video. People need to get their shit together, I think. Yeah, 2025. It was actually my birthday as well, like a few days ago, so I don't know, maybe I'm getting like a bit grumpy in my old age or something, I don't know. I've got loads of grey. That's from the stress of last year. I kicked the camera. I think creatives definitely need to be like, if you haven't already started, you need to kind of get on the ball now and just put whatever out, because that is what's needed in the world. Just because there's so much propaganda out there at the minute. So the big bad they're pushing out all of this kind of doom and gloom, and I mean there is doom and gloom, don't get me wrong, but it's to the point there's no balance to it. Everything is out of balance. So if you're not helping to restore the balance, get off the scales. That's as nice as I'm going to get, I think, for 2025. And my year last year was, I doubt anyone else would have coped as well, just with there's so many different things. That's beside the point, you know. People are kind of welcome to kind of my life if they think it's all God knows what, you know. People have their own expectations and projections and fantasies and all that thing, and they probably think, I don't know, either the way I talk or something, or just how I am, that I've had it easy. You're welcome to step into my size 4s any day, any day. And yeah, I pull no punches at all, and I don't put up with shitty behaviour. I'm very much a mirror. If you're going to treat me shitty, I'll just reflect it back 10 times worse. If you're going to treat me well, I'll reflect that back 10 times better. You know, I'm a very fair person, and I'm definitely no one's like punching bag, push around, whatever, at all. And if anything, I'll probably be either the best person you meet in your life or the worst person. You choose. It's one of those things. So if people are watching me and they're like, oh, she's so arrogant, she's so full of herself, whatever, I don't care. I don't know how many times I have to say, I don't care what people think of me. I don't put anything out for clouds. I don't put anything out for attention or anything like that. This is very much a rant. Welcome to the inner workings of my mind. You can either be a transformer, robots in the sky, or you can be a conductor and just continue the circuit board of this shitty energy that seems to be out there. You know, you can just kind of perpetuate it, and well done. You've perpetuated more shit. Yeah, woo, pull no punches today. I've had a lovely time in my little hotel room. It was very much needed, kind of like a belated birthday present to myself. So my tiny studio flat, I have no bath, it's just a shower. So I've very much made the most of the bath here, and the mattress was absolutely lovely. To the point I'm contemplating, do I book another night? My view, I will try and get like a bit of a b-roll video of the view. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, right now, if you're struggling to kind of like get excited about your life or get motivated, I get it, you know, there's so much shit in the world. It's kind of like, oh god, what is the point? There's still a point, obviously there is, and like I said, you can choose to either perpetuate the shit and be a doom and gloom person, or you can be take your power back basically, and transform it, put your own creative spin on this world, because that's what's needed. And yeah, just create and share. But if you're sharing to get sympathy, or you think, oh, you're doing good in the world, don't no. I don't put anything out because I think I'm just changing the world or anything. I put it out because that's kind of what I feel is right at the time. It's not really with an end goal. I could give two shits if I get views and all that thing. yeah, whatever misconceptions people have of me, it's baffling, and keep them to yourselves, you know. And I mean, I keep myself to myself, you know, and I'm beside the thing of like reaching out to people at the minute, because I think everyone is just looking for some kind of punch bag, and I mean, I have to kind of really pull back, because I can be like annihilate people and destroy them completely. That's kind of the downfall of me, because I have no qualms in how people think at all. Let's recap. So at the minute we've got fascism, very much, but it's always been in power in the Western world, and I think if you're only just kind of waking up to it, it will be quite startling to understand it all and realise that the world that we've been living in and operating in has been a complete fantasy. I can't even say medieval dream, but it's just basically it's hierarchy and things, and working to the will of one person at the expense of people as well. So yeah, it's a little bit startling if you've only just woken up to it. If you're a little bit like me, tinfoil hat, it won't be as shocking. It will be like, well, you know, nothing's new. If you're running on the fear energy, I think try and steer off it. Come off social media, come off like mainstream news and everything else, because it's propaganda and it is used to kind of keep the energy level down. So how I look at this world, everything runs on energy and frequency, and we actually are a little bit more powerful than all of that, because we can actually choose what energy we put out, and we do have that choice regardless of like what's happening in the world. So you can either switch off from it, kind of get back into yourself, find out what you like, what you don't like, you know, learn you, and yeah, if you've got something of value to share, put it out. If you're expecting clout, if you're expecting fame and fortune and all that thing, don't put anything out. Just purely for the fact that has been the world for the last God knows how many years. People only put things out because they're expecting like praise. Well done, you know, you've made something, well done. It's this special treatment thing. People expect special treatment, and it's like, no, I mean, everyone deserves to be treated the exact same. Every single person, whether you've got money or whether you haven't, whether you're a rocket scientist or whether you're just someone on the street, you know, everyone deserves the same level of attention, care and everything else. So if you're expecting to be treated differently to other people just because you've created something, please sit with yourself and try and look into ego and ego death. And there's a duality to ego, obviously. It's that thing of we need our ego because that's our kind of personality and that's how we interact with the world, but it's not a fixed thing. Nothing about us is ever fixed, you know. Like I didn't have grey like a year ago like that, and just everything is always changing every single day, every single second, you know. That's the beauty of life, it's always moving. Yeah, so ego, the duality of ego is it's how we operate in the world, and we need it because that's kind of what protects our our subconscious and our thoughts and feelings and everything else, you know. So if you've got a weak ego, you're just going to let out all sorts of negative like shit affect you. And then you've got the other ego, which is like pride. So it's actually been confused over the last God knows how many years, probably 40-50 years. It's been confused with pride, this kind of egotistical, narcissistic pride that, you know, people should bow down to me because I am so great, and this grandiosity kind of like God, I don't even know. It is very much taught in Western world. I don't think like Eastern culture, like, this is stereotyping and kind of generalizing as well, but Eastern culture is very different to the West, and I think that's kind of why it's so attacked all the time, and that's very much why colonization is a Western construct, even though it does go back to like ancient Greek and ancient Roman, can't even say the word, ancient Romans, colonization, conquering, and oh, it's the stress of life. Tips for getting through 2025. I love it. I think it's so fun. I think life is fun. You don't know what's going to happen. And the beauty of life is it can just end like that. That's not doom and gloom, that's reality, that's factual. So people need to kind of get to grips with that concept, you know, and that will actually prompt you to make the most of your life. That will make you realise that you don't have to put out shit, you don't have to be a dick to people. You can actually be a decent person, and if dicky shitty people come at you, at least you've got that resolve then. I think with me, like, I'd rather not be a shitty person, just for the fact that if you put shit out and you're operating on that frequency, you will get more of the same. It's science. If you're in that circuit of energy and you're putting out that same energy, you will get more of it. You know, this is where all those manifestation, law of attraction people have a little bit of it right. You know, so if you're, it's not raise your vibration or all that thing, because it's neither here nor there. They're both on the same level anyway. It's all a scale. So you can either operate in really positive energy, positive as in not being a dick and a shitty person and things. If anything for 2025, just don't be a dick, you know, and you have got that choice. And if you don't know how you're acting towards people, then I think you need to kind of withdraw and figure out your feelings and your thoughts and everything else, and not be so reactive to things. Kind of choose your thoughts, choose your words, and that's the beauty of like withdrawing and getting to that point where you're kind of like isolated. You kind of have that thing of learning your thoughts and feelings and everything else, and not being told what's what. So yeah, and then you can choose to engage with the world, but you have that choice at the end of the day. You do have that choice whether or not you engage with the shit, or you kind of like see the shit and try and make a difference with it, you know. If people think I'm being like quiet and things, like not putting out my own stuff, it's just purely for the fact that I need to be quiet at the minute. Like my year last year, I actually need to recover. So if people are looking to me for answers and all that thing, you know, there's nothing stopping people from like emailing and asking. It doesn't make you like weak or anything to kind of ask other people's opinions. And if people think I am that person who has kind of like a perspective on the world, I have my own perspective. It's not right, it's not wrong, it's my perspective. I think if anything you should be kind of a bit of a scientist to gather people's perspectives on the world and then use it to kind of forge your own. Otherwise you're just kind of running the risk of falling to other people's world and things. So yeah, mindfulness is the big one for this year. Authenticity, acts of service, community, these are the things that are going to get us through. And this is why I'd kind of recommend people not to fixate on money. Money is a tool at the end of the day. If you're putting so much emphasis and things on a tool, think like a screwdriver or a hammer or something, you know, you've got to live your life by that. I mean, if you're a tradesperson, you know, fair play. But yeah, don't get fixated on the outside. It's kind of what's inside that matters. Yeah, take 10 seconds. If you're getting overwhelmed by anything, switch off, you know, create, do something to kind of transform that anxious There's a funny thing in psychology actually, anxiety and excitedness, is that a word? Excitement. They're actually on the same frequency scale, whatever. So you can actually train your brain into, whenever you feel anxious or anything, you can actually train your brain into thinking, oh, I'm excited. So maybe I'm just excited about life. I crack myself up. Oh God. I mean, it just takes stock of the small things, you know, and just be thankful for everything. There's so many people worse off at the minute. And I mean, if you're sat there on a phone looking at this stuff, you are one of the better off people. It's just fact. And if you're getting overwhelmed because you're like, oh, I need to kind of do something, I need to save the day and all that thing, no, that's ego. And people think I'm just kind of doing things because I want to save the day and all that thing. Yeah, that's probably a little bit of ego as well. That's like God complex almost. And people are welcome to psychoanalyze me and all that thing. If you ever get to the bottom of it, let me know. I mean, I'm quite a good person to a point. But I don't claim to be nice. I'm not a nice person. But usually, because I've experienced or encountered someone who's shitty and I've done nothing to provoke it, that's usually when I turn into a complete like monster. I don't know. What else did I say? I will edit this so it'll be a bit more coherent. I haven't done a video for a while, so I'm a bit like rusty and things. And I'm just kind of fixated on like the ocean view outside. I don't know. What else? Hiccup. I think now is the time for artists, creatives, people who are like willingly like doing acts of service. This day and age, we're in such a cosmic like fabulous time, because egos is just going to get a battering. And if it didn't get a battering like over the last 5 years, because that's kind of when it all started, it definitely will this year. I've been to hell and back, and that's why I sit here laughing. Because I've made it through there and back again, a Hobbit's Tale. And yeah, and it's not a thing that I'm better than anyone. I am definitely not better than anyone. You know, I'm 5'3", short, like miserable. Don't know. Otherwise, I don't really bother with people. People have got drama and like they're not willing to listen to each other. Everyone's kind of talking at each other. That's kind of why I have to remove myself from like being around people too much. Just because it really is all this noise. Everyone's just talking, and no one's actually really saying anything. That's what I mean. If you've got something of value to share, you will know, and you will just kind of put it out. I think too much. That's what I think. My plan for this year is to just focus on my marketing business. I've got a few things lined up which I'm really excited about, just because like I don't know, going back to like 2016, I haven't really done anything or kind of gone anywhere. So this is the thing, you know, if you've got the capability of treating yourself, treat yourself, and don't feel guilty about it. There's no need to kind of like throw it in people's faces either. But yeah, it's my thing is completely like, I am really excited about some of the things coming up, and that's the thing. I want to kind of stay on that excited frequency. I don't want to be on that anxious thing, because it does nothing. It incapacitates you to the point you don't even act in your own life, and that is your life. And remember that, you know, it can all at any given time. So let go of this ego control thing that you think you're in control of everything, because you're not. You're in control of your thoughts, and that's the only thing you can be in control of your thoughts and your actions. Thoughts should always precede actions, and that some people, you can tell there's not a thought in their little pretty noggin, but I don't know. Yeah, after last year I haven't got the energy, or kind of like even the tolerance level to entertain any shit towards me, first hand or kind of third party or anything like that, you know. I have not got it whatsoever. I mean, people can try, and no doubt I'll step up to the plate, because that's what I always do. So I've got that resilience, and I'm quite proud of myself, actually, you know. Pride, ego. Oh god, I don't need anyone's validation. I like me, and that's the main thing. So yeah, rant over. 3 tips for navigating this year. What did I say? Acts of service, community, creativity, always, art, music, writing, dance, you know, whatever. And half the time, a lot of the art and things that is put out usually is like the best when it's not even on a budget. I think that's true creativity. What can you do with a shoestring, no budget? And that's why I loved like indie filmmaking in the early days and things, because we were just kind of half the time we didn't even have budget for like travel. Everyone would be getting the bus or the train with all their camera stuff, and like Asda, like food. There's a technical term for it, but yeah. That was like pure magic to me. What can you do without money? So yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be promoting more of my marketing stuff. I don't know whether I'm waiting to move yet. I don't know. I mean, it's only Friday. It's the last day of January. Let's just get through one day at a time. Each moment, enjoy, and just know each moment doesn't last. That's it. If you enjoyed this video, do subscribe, guys, girls, non-binds. I'm very accepting, and I've said this before, I'm very accepting as long as you're not a shit of a person. My camera's like, enough. Go support indie creatives, and yeah, form communities, and stop paying heed to fascist shitty people in power. They're not even in power, that's the worst of it, you know. I think I'd recommend, I'm not sure if I did in another video, I think I did. There's Merlin with Sam Neill and Miranda Richardson from years ago. If you look up any scene, look up the scene where Merlin tells the people to just turn away, because that is very much what it is. It's attention. The more you give your attention to something, the more real and powerful and things it becomes. So yeah, go look up that scene. And that's it. I am going to have a coffee and then pack up my stuff and go, and that's it. Yeah. Did I say subscribe? Yeah. In the meantime, stay awesome, stay classy, be kind, and bye.